Alrighty.
Olga, here we are again.
Yes, we are. Welcome to episode 2 of Divine Adventures with Olga and Nathan. I'm Olga.
Welcome.
He's Nathan.
I'm Nathan.
And where are we at?
We're at Coolum Beach.
Yay.
On the rocks.
Yeah, down on the rocks.
Off the cliff face.
Yes.
It was a bit of an adventure to get down
Yes.
here.
Nathan was like, yes, we're getting across. I'm like, okay.
We just had to find a place that we could sit,
Yeah.
place the phone, and be shielded from the wind.
Yes.
Because it's late afternoon as we're doing this, so there's some onshore winds here.
Yeah, so you'll hear some background noise and waves crashing, so
just bear with us.
Yeah. We're just allowing you to experience nature along with us, in this debriefing process.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. Why don't you show them?
All right, I'll show them where we're at.
What we're looking at.
What we're looking at. So hopefully I'm showing. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of the lovely nature place that we're in.
Yeah, it's a great time of afternoon, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Nearing on 4 p.m.
It's a beautiful sunny Sunday.
Sunday
The weather's been gorgeous today.
Coolum Beach.
Yeah.
It's really turned it on for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, definitely. Not that we've actually been to the beach. We've had a walk up to, what was it, Point Arkwright? On the boardwalk?
Right up there, up from Coolum. Up to the...
Stunning views, absolutely stunning views up there.
We're told from the guy that we got a coffee from that we may see turtles, but...
Yes. But I kind of forgot to look because I was just looking at the stunning views. Yeah. But you were checking...
Yeah, there was no turtles or dolphins out. Maybe they're in the morning.
Yeah.
When it goes surfing.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe that's another experience that we can have, like a surf and turtle kind of adventure. And speaking of surfers, there's some surfers just going out there now.
Yeah. Going to enjoy the waves.
Put my goggles on so I can actually see over there. Oh, yeah. And someone fishing with a weird thing on his head.
I can't see that.
So yeah, all right, shall we get started and debrief our experience around... so today we did a Haka workshop.
The Haka workshop with Jay.
With Jay and his wife Shirley-Anne.
Shirley-Anne, yeah.
And there was so it was a Haka that they created themselves. That was one of the things that I didn't realise, that you could have different Hakas. I thought there was just one type of Haka, but you can have different types of Haka.
I guess I hadn't taken notice to...
Yeah,
to
I hadn't really
ones.
paid attention, yeah.
I thought that, as you did, and probably a lot of people out there, the Haka's the Haka.
Yeah.
And it's one, but no, it's tribal or community sort of based.
Yeah. So the Haka they created today, that's right, the Haka they created today was about gathering people together and creating community.
Community, yeah.
Yeah.
But they've got different meanings, I guess, as well.
Yeah, and so we learned the chant or the cry along with the actual movements to the Haka. And so I obviously did the women's version of the Haka, and Nathan did the man's version of the Haka. We're pretty much similar, but there were some bits that the women don't do. So the women don't do the sticking out the tongue part of it, but we kind of use our eyes.
Yeah.
What was that move called? Was it the pukan? I'm really sorry, I don't know if I've pronounced that correctly or I've said the word. But the bit about where you do the men do the sticking out the tongue and the glaring of the eyes, the women can just do the eyes.
The more confrontational side of it, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
the fierce part of it kind of thing. So we just do the eyes, but the women don't do the sticking the tongue out kind of thing. And what I found interesting was Shirley-Anne was saying that I think she said there was like 2 tribes in the Northern Island that do that the women actually do the Haka. And so it's not something that's done in all of the tribes. And the tribe that she's from, she was in Hastings, was one of the tribes that actually did the female Haka. So that was actually really interesting to learn about some of the background. It kind of starting off as kind of like a war cry, and then some of the moves as well. Where she was saying there was a bit where we were doing the nata one. And it was like, we were meant to look at our hand, and it was meant to be a distraction technique.
Oh, okay.
And so if we were using the knife or something like that we'd have the knife in one hand and we'd have this distraction technique and get people to look over there, and then we could actually attack, I suppose, as well. So it was just really interesting, some of the context around getting an understanding of the language of, you know, the words that we were chanting as well, what they meant. So they debriefed us on that, and much of that I don't actually remember. Some of it was at nurturing and
because we were learning
the
another
spirit
language,
one.
really, weren't we?
What's that?
We were learning another language. And
Yeah, exactly.
It was quite detailed.
Yeah. And so I guess in terms of the layout of the day, they made it quite traditional. So when we arrived, they had that welcome cry.
With the horn.
Yeah, and Jay had the horn. I don't know what the horn, I'm sure there was probably a special name for the horn, but I don't remember what that was. So it was really good to be able to be, like, you know, welcomed into the hall space. Yeah. And I really love the hall space because of the wood.
Verrierdale
Hall,
out of Verrierdale.
Yeah, like I just loved the
feel of the place.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, it just felt very ceremonial, kind of like, you know, a gathering space, a gathering hall space kind of thing.
And
so
all the framework was sort of exposed in the inside. And
so it's pretty much just like one layer of wood, like it was just a framework with the layers of the wood kind of thing, and so you saw the inside of that. I don't know, I just really resonated with that wood space. So yeah, and then we kind of like, you know, started learning the moves together. And then, you know, learning, and then I think us ladies went out the back, we went out onto the grass because you guys were being really loud. And so we were like, exit stage left.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. I really loved when we were outside, actually. Like, I really felt the power when the men were doing, you know, when you guys were doing your version. I could feel the power of the movement, you know, when we were outside on the grass and just debriefing.
Hearing the stomp. Could you hear the stomping?
Yeah, and the stomp and the cries, you know, the he's and the ha's, you know, kind of thing. I could feel the power of that, you know, outside.
You could feel the power of that when it was being done as well, like being all part of that. So, interesting that they've got the different versions, I guess, in with the, you know, like in terms of the warrior one, which is more confrontational, versus this one, which is more community, bringing the community together. Yeah,
like gathering the people.
Yeah, gathering. Because my interpretation of the Haka for this was that it was just before battle, or as we know it, before football games.
Yeah.
And that, you know, which are quite intense and very confronting, aren't they? To see. So, what was this sort of space that you thought this one brought in terms of community?
Well, I kind of felt like a bit of a warrior energy. Like when we were doing it all together, like I could really feel like I think one of the things that I really felt was like, you know, when they were talking about like, you know, the stomp and like having that as a heartbeat, and that was kind of like, you know, the backbone of the whole, you know, kind of like experience, and following the heartbeat of that, and that I still felt like, you know, that warrior type you know, energy, and like, you know, as I was just saying to you before, it's like, you know, that bit where we were all like tapping into the spirit, and then I kind of like did this random, like, because that was just like the energy that I was feeling at the time.
That's where you felt to go with it, right?
Yeah. So it was just like, you know, getting into, you know, that, which is the wrong move, by the way, and apparently some of the other girls came up to me and said, we were kind of looking for, you know, at you for leadership, and then you do what this random, like, I was like, like, you know, getting into it. I was like, which is not part of the Haka, but that's just what I felt like. Right moment, just at that time. It was only once that I did that, and then I'm like, okay, I won't do that again, because that wasn't part of the moves. But it was just interesting how, for me, it was like, because the female Haka is quite a different energy to the male Haka, and what Shirley-Anne was explaining is like, you know, we're kind of there supporting the men, you know, in that space, and it's like, you know, I found sometimes when we were practicing that I was getting caught up in that warrior kind of energy, and again, I noticed myself just getting louder, like going, you know, with the he and the ha's and the, you know, getting into that kiss kind of space, and getting caught up in the warrior energy, I guess, around that. So,
for me, I guess I certainly felt the difference between when doing the moves and including the sounds, and then when you didn't. it really did make a difference in sort of the way that I felt while doing it. So it's important and interesting.
Yeah, and I guess that's the difference of like actually just doing, like going through the motions versus actually
embodying.
Yeah, embodying and feeling, you know, the energy of the moves and combining that with, it's kind of interesting actually, the power of the voice and how utilising, you know, your voice to create more meaning around the actions.
More meaning, more energy.
Yeah, creating the energy around that. Yeah, that's an interesting point.
How's your foot? Were you doing the stomping?
So we were, as for the female haka, we were like meant to do like a light stomp kind of thing, but it was like
it was a bit hard not to get carried away with it.
I was finding it a bit challenging to do the whole foot stomping bit because that meant I had to put a lot of weight on my left foot. And I had to be, because I've got my left knee's a bit dodgy, and so I found that a bit challenging to do that. So then I was just having my feet planted and then just, you know, kind of like pushing my heel down, like, you know, just keeping the ball of my foot on the floor and my toes on the floor, but then just stomping with my heel.
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But then I found that like that was killing my calves, and so I was like doing some calf stretches, you know, down the back there, because like I felt my calves, you know, going off kind of thing, because it was pretty much like, you know, everything was pretty much with the right side. So it was like, you know, right foot was stomping. We'd start off with the right hand with the nata part, and there was a specific way that we had to pronounce that, kind of like at the back of the throat. Nata as well. So, which I'm probably not getting right. I'm pretty sure I'm definitely not getting that right at the moment. And but you know what? I guess it's not about getting it right. It's just about enjoying the experience.
And that's what we did it for.
And what about you in terms of your body? What were you feeling in terms of the stomping and the thigh slapping?
The thigh
as well. I forgot about that.
I think my thighs have still got red slap marks on it.
So that should be interesting how, you know, we rock up tomorrow. And you more so, because it's like, you know, the male haka, they were like more energetic in that space, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, and we were kind of like more gentle, like, you know, the bit where we were doing that, you know, the throw out and the back, whereas the guys, you kind of like had to like almost like really hit your chest, right?
Absolutely.
Whereas the female, we were like, you know, we kind of just did a flick out, and then it was, we didn't even actually have to tap our chest. It could just be even touch our chest. It was just more like coming into that space and then out. Whereas you guys were like full on
into it,
whatever the sound was that you guys had to do with that space. So
tapping into that masculine energy and really sort of drawing that out and using that to I don't know, create what were we trying to create, like a
maybe like a bond to get the men to bond together in terms of a warrior.
Just the warrior energy.
Yeah.
The warrior energy. I was just having trouble tapping into that at times throughout the day. I didn't feel scary at all.
Yeah.
I was wondering what I was actually looking like from.
Yeah.
You know,
because we didn't actually get to see each other do it. Like we were all kind of doing it together, all facing the same direction, kind of thing, and following. Jay and Shirley-Anne, at the front. So I'm actually quite intrigued to see, because I didn't get to see a lot of only just from like side views of the, you know, the male faces with the tongues and stuff like that. Besides like, you know, Jay and Shirley-Anne demonstrating at the beginning kind of thing.
Jay just did it.
Oh, he was awesome. I'm like, oh my God, wow.
Did you see how when he opened it, and he just turned it on, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. And the power was just like...
You could feel it.
Yeah.
On the slide.
Yeah, totally.
Like, wow.
Yeah. I think I was just like shaking my head in wonder. Like it was just amazing.
It was instant.
Amazing. Yeah.
Instant.
Yeah. It was like full on generating. It was almost like, I think the haka for him, I think he was explaining, it was almost like a generating himself and getting into the core of who he was. That was... doing the haka actually enabled him, you know, kind of to do that. I can see it almost like as a power stance. I mean, we were talking at lunchtime with some of the other guys that, you know, doing it almost as like a morning ritual to kind of create like a powerful frame for the day. So, yeah.
Would you do it in the morning each day, or?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, you know, just try it on if I'm feeling like a little bit like I need to connect with my feminine warrior.
Yeah, it depends what you're going to be walking
My
into
warrior
for the
queen,
day.
yeah.
Absolutely. Tackle the day with power.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, I think with
Wonder
anything,
Woman.
it's like if it works for you, then go do it.
do
And
it.
like, whatever it is that works for you, go do that kind of thing. So, and that's, I guess, the point of doing stuff like that is to figure out, does this resonate with you? Does this not resonate with you? What resonates with you? What doesn't resonate with you? And just keep that stuff on that's, does resonate. Like, you're talking about, like, doing the swimming at Cedar Creek, and it's like, you're finding that kind of the icy water really helpful, in that...
well, after doing the ice bath...
The ice bath immersion, yeah.
It's made it a lot easier and totally changed my mindset around the whole cold experience and what it brings out, and just embodying that and letting the body just adapt and then go and have fun.
Yeah. Because, I'm still having, like, my 1 minute... I don't know if they're actually full 1 minute cold showers at the end of my normal showers. Not every day, but generally, like, 4 to 5 times a week, I'm still doing my cold shower.
We're coming into winter as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting whether I'm going to be keeping up with that or not.
Yeah. But, like I said, I was talking to you earlier about, I was out at Cedar Creek last week with the kids and, just swimming in the water, and everyone's sort of walking up and putting their toes in, and
they're like, no.
Yeah, trying it on for a minute, but not
you're not
lasting.
Yeah. But you're not going to get a sense of what it's like. I mean, it's not just dipping your toe and see how cold it is. It's about really immersing yourself in and allowing your body to regulate.
Yeah, but people, and myself included, that's
you're
that's
dipping
what
your
we
toe
do.
in, yeah.
Sometimes we dip the toe in and go,
oh my God, that's so cold.
I don't like this. This is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Being the operative word.
Well, yeah,
and then don't go in any further. So
yeah,
and just that for example, just the fun that I was able to have by just doing the full submersion.
Yeah,
and moving through that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wonder how else that plays out in our lives.
Well, I was just thinking about the whole discomfort thing. It's like, we're not really trained or raised to be. What am I trying to say? Like, we're not really trained to be okay with being uncomfortable, or trained to sit in the discomfort and see what comes up in that space.
It's uncomfortable. Move back. Go back.
Get back into your comfort zone.
Get back into your comfortable space.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just admiring the view that we've got here.
Yeah. But what's available in the comfort zone? There's not really anything available. Nothing new available in the comfort zone. Well, it's like having to explore the discomfort. That's where the new stuff
that we already know.
Yeah.
Is in the comfort zone, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why it's about expanding your comfort zone by being able to sit in a bit of discomfort, like the ice bath, because that was challenging for me to begin with. And then even with the Haka workshop today, like learning the language, of the chant, like the response. It was actually a bit of a call response thing almost. Actually, that's what I was thinking of when we were going through that, like in a bit like Kirtan, like the chanting meditation where they do a call and then response, like the Om Namah Shivaya kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, not that was what the Haka was, but it was just like there was a leader and then the group responded kind of thing. For me the challenge was like learning the language and then learning the moves that we had to do as part of the Haka as well, like what I call the choreography, because my frame is all about dance. So that was kind of challenging in the order of stuff. And then I think everyone kind of really... Did you feel that everybody kind of resonated with the Panake,
yeah,
where everyone seemed to, like, there was just this... Everyone seemed to get into the zone in that bit.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was quite powerful. Just the talking around the way that the day was structured as well, and, doing the introduction, and then the way that they broke down the dance. That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
A dance.
Yeah.
And part by part, and explaining what the words were, and then so into bite-sized chunks that we could learn, and then we'd get that right, and then we'd visit the next.
Yeah, it was doing really well,
and
actually.
Just adding in little bits, and then because then we did sort of started a third of the way through to did another bite-sized chunk, and learned that really well, and then bringing it all together. It was really good. I like the way that they
the way it was
that.
facilitated.
And it's just so comfortable, and you know, it just felt really, just the environment. You know, it was a bit of, I guess, playfulness.
Yes. Yeah.
Playfulness, and it wasn't all serious. It was fun.
Yeah. Until they were like, okay, we're going to do it with like, what was the wording that Jay used? We're going to go full out, or we're going to do. That was because we'd practiced it quite a few times through, and then it was like, oh, we're going to go all in, and we're going to all full force. I can't remember what the terminology was that he used, and it was just like we're going to give it all. It's like 100% commitment, 100% effort, 100% warrior, bring it on, kind of. That's what the wording he used. I can't remember what the wording actually was, but I could sense the difference in that round kind of thing. And we're like, okay, can we do it again? And then I was like, and I think we did it about 2 or 3 more times than, was intended before we actually went and had our lunch, our Hangi lunch. And even towards the end, it's like, oh, okay, can we do it again? Can we do it again? Okay, we need to wrap up, guys. Yeah. Can we do it again, though? We're like little kids.
Well, we've learned something new. We want to play.
Yeah. We want to practice. We want to practice.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, it did. It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, there was a bit of, the challenge was like, getting as I said before, the mental, I guess, not acuity, but the mental competence around the language, as well as bringing the language and the moves together at the same time, and remembering the sequence of it as well, like remembering what the leader's call was, and then what our response was to that, and the moves to that, and getting the timing as well, like getting, that heartbeat, as we're doing the stomping, kind of thing, getting that in unison.
I'm that guy with 2 left feet. So.
Oh, yeah. I did see you stomping on your left foot, actually, a couple of times.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, it's not true. It's not true.
And then, that time we went out onto the grass, because the majority of the workshop was held in the hall.
Yes.
So we were like kind of stomping on the wooden floor, so it was actually much easier to hear, the heartbeat in that space. And then we went out on the grass, and so that was a completely different. I actually enjoyed being out on the grass, actually, like having a bit of an earthing experience with the grass, like barefoot out there.
It was a different environment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we had trouble with the timing because we couldn't hear the stomps on the floor.
Yes, we could hear ourselves.
That was my excuse anyway.
Yeah.
I'll stick to that one.
Because I know Shirley-Anne was like, okay, guys, you're getting a little bit fast. You need to slow down.
Yep.
Because we were like getting quicker and quicker, and it was just, but it was good because it's like there were times where the group might have gone a bit quicker, or Jay might have gone a bit quicker, or someone went a bit quicker, but we all kind of like, got back onto the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Ourselves as a group kind of thing, which was really cool.
It's hard to keep it at that slow pace when it's
and the guys just want to go, no!
With the energy that it brings, and you.
Yes. True.
Keep the pace down. So that was the challenge.
Yes.
But we worked through it.
Yeah. No, it was a really good day, and then we had a really lovely
lunch,
Hangi lunch. And so it was a vegan Hangi lunch, since we had vegetables. And what was that thing that they said was in the middle of it? Like it was stuffing or something like that?
It was stuffing.
Like a vegan stuffing?
Like a vegan stuffing.
With breadcrumbs and stuff. It was delicious. And the fried bread, I think we kind of all went a little bit nuts over the fried bread, to be honest. I'm like, no, I don't want any more. Oh, all right, I'll have some more. So, so that was really good. And then just kind of having a bit of a debrief of the experience over lunch, and fried bread, and I think I had about 3 pieces of that fried bread, to be honest.
Oh well, enjoy. It was there.
Yeah.
You don't do it every day.
No, exactly. So, no, it was actually, I really enjoyed the day. I really enjoyed the hall space. I really enjoyed being outside on the grass, as well. I enjoyed the welcoming, part in, like the whole ceremony of it, and then running through it. So I think there was a whole bunch of kids that somehow rocked up. I think they were kids of, I think Jay's kids were there, and Dan's kids were there, and so we kind of like did the Haka a couple of times for them as well. So
I'm sure that's ended a few times.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then for some reason I somehow got involved in all the kids playing tag, and so I got tagged it quite a few times by the who has like Dan's triplets.
Oh, wow.
So that was quite funny. So I'm trying to chase these girls around the hall.
Again, playfulness.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Theme of the day.
Yeah, cool. Like exploring things differently through language, and through body movement. So, and apparently playing tag was part of that process too. Although it wasn't really part of the scheduled workshop part, right?
No.
So yeah.
But it all added to it. So
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Really
yeah. So.
And, Jay obviously attracts a really good bunch of people into
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
that.
like
So
when we
everyone-
arrived.
We're just, chatting to, I've forgotten everyone's name, but but a lot of different people and, just all their different journeys and experiences and, you can always count
That's
on,
right.
You
Had
can
an
always
awesome.
count on that with Jay. And
Yeah. Some really interesting people, like, the people that were so welcoming when we arrived, like introducing themselves when we arrived and stuff like that. And,
When it
the
was
guys at
freezing
lunch who
cold.
climbed some mountain somewhere before coming to the Haka workshop.
one of the smaller glasshouse mountains that climbed.
I can't remember what the name of it was. They did tell us.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about the Kenilworth Bakery and
Kenilworth
donuts.
Bakery, yeah. Which
Like
I happened
these
to be
random
at
conversations.
yesterday,
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're going to do the kilo donut challenge or not, but after that lunch, probably.
I know
not.
one of them was the guy that was mopping up some of my leftovers was like, "Oh yeah,
Stop
what
it.
about the donuts with the fried bread?"
Yeah.
I actually thought the fried bread was better without the dunking it. I think it was better because I tried it both ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The fried bread was good on its own actually. So yeah, and then we walked up Mt
Ninderry, which is at the back of Yandina, between Yandina and Coolum, where we are now.
So that was really cool. It's just been such a gorgeous day today. I was like, when we were sitting at lunch, I'm like, I really would like to do a forest walk. So
we found one and we walked it.
Yeah, which was cool.
Got some amazing views and pictures.
And lots of people, dogs going up the track as well, which I thought was unusual. So I don't know if that's really common around here or that spot. There's heaps of people walking up with their dogs up Mt Ninderry. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, Mt
Ninderry?
That's
Ninderry?
how I pronounce it. I don't know. Do I pronounce it right?
I don't
Who
know.
knows?
It's not about being right?
No, right.
So yeah. And now here we are at Coolum Beach,
It might take
enjoying
a
the...
quick walk along the beach. And,
Yeah, we might actually get on the beach as opposed to walking above the beach kind of thing. So yeah, is there anything else that you'd like to share about today?
I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good day. A whole bunch of different cultural aspects, and with the food and the welcome and the haka and the language and the movements, and
Absolutely.
and we've kind of did our own little extra workshops or retreats up Mt Ninderry.
Yeah. Connecting with nature.
Yeah,
And now
walking along the boardwalk.
And we're just working out what our next podcast is.
Yeah, how to get back up to the actual street level, I think is kind of... Because you've taken me on some random way. But anyway, it's all good. It's part of the adventure.
Are we doing the gong experiences?
Yeah, so I think our next Divine Adventure in June. So our intention is to do these monthly. And so the next one, I think, is the 8-hour gong sleepover. So that's going to be interesting.
Do not know what that involves or
No
whatever,
idea.
We're just going to
But there's a sleepover,
we're
there's
gonna
gongs, and it's 8 hours.
Make the most of it,
Yeah.
as we always do.
And one other adventure comes up as part of that process. Yeah, we'll just, go with the flow of it.
Someone might hear me sleeping.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking, because I normally sleep with earplugs because I'm a fairly light sleeper, and so I'm not sure if wearing earplugs kind of defeats a whole gong experience, or whether the vibration of the gong will still have like a healing effect or not. So don't know. I might need to ask the facilitator around that. So,
but watch this space.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Subscribe below.
See you guys.
Goodbye.